Strap in and be careful. In this video, you just may learn something. Today, we're going to be doing something that is relatively simple maintenance on a no-gauge locomotive, and that is what is called changing a traction tire. In this case, two on the back of this Lionel 462 Lionchief Plus Pacific engine. You'll notice step one is to always put down something like paper towels or something underneath it, because it's probably going to leak smoke fluid and other things like oil and stuff that you've applied to keep it rolling. Anyways, when you roll it over, there are generally two, sometimes one wheel, that have grooves in them, and generally there are what are called traction tires, which are these, that are attached to each, that give the engines traction so that they can pull toy freight, basically. In real life, steam engines would have sand boxes that would dump sand on the tracks and give the wheels tractions. Anyway, so what we need to do is replace both of these. And to do so, we just have to take each of these, nuts, and the back one comes out, the middle one comes out, and put it to the side, and then we pop on the traction tire. In this case, they both basically had disintegrated and fallen off, so there's not old tires to remove, but sometimes they'll pop off the wheel and just kind of bunch up. So this would be the solution to replacing a traction tire for both. So yeah, off the wheel. So now you may be asking yourself, what do I need to complete this here project? Well, glad you asked. Number one, usually when you get a locomotive, unless it's off a secondary market, in which case the traction tires might not be there any longer, any of the higher end engines usually come with at least one replacement traction tire. After which you can easily find some. Just do a Google search and order them up for the right specific type of locomotive you have, because they do have different sizes. And when you get them, if you have more than one or two locos that need them, then make sure you label the bags, just because they all look kind of the same. In addition, you'll need a 5mm nut driver to take care of these nuts. And you can buy one of these sets on Amazon for like $5. Some of the higher end engines will come with a nut driver that's the right size, and you can just use that. It's included in the box, but if not, it's not really expensive to get one. And then lastly, some sort of a flathead that's narrow, because it does help when you're putting the tire on around the upper part in particular, where it's pretty narrow. It helps keep it pushed up and gets it popped onto the wheel without twisting up. So next stop, I'm going to take out one of these tires, and then we'll unscrew these. Twist. So here's the 5mm. Pop it on the first screw. And just be careful with the screw when it pops out, because there are other little pieces that it's holding together, depending on the engine, but it's easiest to kind of just push that to the side a bit versus totally removing it, because the pieces beneath it can fall off. And then we'll do the same to the wheel that we actually need to replace the tire on. That one popped out. Yep, and then you can basically just move this to the side. And of course, this whole section just bit it. Like I said, there are extra pieces in there. Cool. Alright, business. We've got ourselves a traction tire. Generally, when you take one out of the bag, it's good to just give it a few tugs just to loosen it up a bit, and then you basically just pop it on the tire and you'll start working it around. And like I said, you have a flathead, like a Swiss Army knife flathead end, that works pretty well with helping you get the tire secured. It generally takes a bit more finesse to get along the top, so let's see. To this hole, there we go. We've got it. And you want to then just push it back on the wheel and make sure it's secure, no kinks in it. And you're good to go, yo. Now we just use our net driver, and I already popped the nets back in there. So turn it clockwise till it's secure. We're back in business, folks. And then obviously you would repeat the same process on the other side of the engine. And you see on the bottom when you look at it now, it's probably a little bit hard to see outside, but one side without the tire, one with. Put two on there, and you can usually pull a fairly good amount of freight. So I'm going to get the second tire replaced, and then we'll run this and make sure it's working okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the surgery was a success. We've got a traction tire on both rear wheels of the 462. So as the next step, we're going to run its contemporary, the same engine, just painted as Baltimore and Ohio, gray, blue, and gold coloring, to give you a look at what it's supposed to do if the tires were added correctly. Alright, cool, you get the idea. Now I'm going to switch this out with the one for which traction tires were just added and see what happens. Alright, ready to roll. As they used to say on MTV, world premiere. For anybody who's old like me, remember some of their videos. Alright, let's fire it up. Uh-oh, sounds good. But will it move? And there you have it, folks. Tire change later, and we're off to the races. Now that'll